Hello and welcome to the StockTrak Fall 2020 New Features webinar. My name is Kevin Smith. I'm the Director of Product Development here at StockTrak. I've been working with our development team all summer on these new features. We're still tying up some loose ends right now, but all of these are available for your fall classes. So, as an overview, we have 5 main categories of the new stuff that we're adding. The first are report updates. The rankings report that we've had for a long time has been enhanced with some new functionality, and we added a new top traded securities report. I'll show you how both of these work. Next, cash spots. This is a new security type we're adding to StockTrak. We've always had some kind of Forex trading and spots trading, but we're actually separating out the leveraged Forex trading from cash spots trading, where a student would buy and sell just one currency denominated in another currency without any leverage. A bigger chunk is our gamification update. We added badges and assignment rewards. So this is a pretty big update in regards to getting students engaged in your class, and I'll go through that in some detail. Certifications. So the first big one we've actually had for a couple of years now is the Wiley certifications, where the top student in each class of 20 or more US or Canadians gets a free Wiley certification course. So I'll go through some details on that just to make sure everybody's aware of it. And finally, our biggest new addition is our new personal budgeting game, which is targeting personal finance classes, campus-wide initiative, and community outreach programs. So jumping right into it, first we have our new reports. There's 2 types of new reports. The first one is our top trade securities report, and the other one is our enhancements to our rankings report. So to give a look at what some of these look like, for our top trade securities report, this is really kind of a fun facts to give the professors a little bit better picture of what's actually going on in their classroom over the course of your trading session. So the new top trade securities report will be on your main menu of your reports pages, and you'll be able to see the top trade securities by any class you have. The way it works is you'll say what order side you want to see, the most frequently bought, sold, short, or covered, and then in any date range it'll tell you how many have been traded. So this is our test class. We often use Google as one of our common test trades, so that's why this one has by far the most trades. But for every class, you'll be able to get a good picture of what your students are actually focusing on. So it's a really good way to launch class discussions, especially, but it also works just to get a good idea of what are your students paying attention to. The other side of this will be an update to our rankings report. Now, our rankings report, we've been adding some stuff to it slowly over the last few years. But there's always been a little bit of frustration that professors have with this. For example, the portfolio value of our rankings report is always a day old because we're using the end-of-day values here. So what we're going to do is we're going to break this up a little bit, where there's going to be a live rankings report that shows your current class's portfolio value return. There's going to be a separate report that orders your class by Sharpe ratio, and a third one for your alpha and beta. So that way you can actually get a better picture in your reports page that would match what your students see on their student rankings pages. In every case, you'll be able to see all the students' trades, how to remove cash, get a portfolio value chart, and all the other features that I'm sure everyone knows and loves from the StockTrak reporting features already. So these 2 will get the biggest updates. There's also a bit of cleanup going through all the other reports. We're adding new fields to our custom reports and things like that if that's something you've used before. So there's a lot going on in the reports section, and then we've been getting some feedback from other professors requesting other types of reports. So if you do have any questions or suggestions for other types of reports you'd like to see, let us know, and we'll make sure we include that in our next update. Beyond the reports, the next biggest addition is our cash spots trading. So now, as I mentioned, in StockTrak for years we've had both Forex and spots trading, and they've been the same security type, where originally it was unleveraged, recently it's been leveraged, but now we're actually making them 2 distinct features that you can have open separate for your class. So when you go to create a class on StockTrak, you will see a few different security types, as you always have, but a newest one at the very bottom is cash spots. Now you'll see that cash spots is considered separate from Forex. This is because Forex trading acts like a Forex brokerage account. These spots, or these currencies, trade pip-by-pip prices. They have live charts going through. They're trading in huge amounts because they're highly leveraged. So if you're actually covering derivatives and Forex in your class, this is an important impact that you can have to make sure you're covering that. Now, cash spots, on the other hand, don't have any leverage. cash spots are basically your students just say, I have 100 US dollars, I want to buy pounds with it, or I want to buy euros. And it lets them trade it with an unleveraged, just purchasing that different currency. So it's a much simpler way to trade, and if you were to look at the actual trading pits, you can see here at the top, the Forex is a fairly complicated trading pit with a lot of different quotes and prices going on all at once, whereas the cash spots trading pit is really basic. The student just says what they want to buy, and they put in how much they want to buy of it. Now, cash spots is also important because it is going to be enhanced throughout the semester to also feature gold, oil, and some other commodity spot trading. So instead of just being currencies, a student can just buy, I want to buy a barrel of oil. So generally speaking, cash spots trading is going to be used for lower level investments classes, where you're just kind of having students go over the basics of things, whereas the Forex trading is used for the real Forex trading and derivatives focused classes. So both are important to have available, and you can have them enabled or disabled separately from this point forward. Next up is our engagement update. So this has to do with badges and achievements and rewards. Now, StockTrak's assignments feature is what powers this, and we've had assignments built into StockTrak for quite a number of years now. But next time you go in to create your assignments, you're actually going to have a few extra features available to you. The main one is the ability to put prerequisites, meaning that your students can't complete one assignment before they finish another one. So you can use this to queue your assignments up in a specific order. And the second is rewards. So you can say, for example, after my students finish watching all the tutorial videos on the site, they get an extra $1,000 in their portfolio. A lot of professors use the assignments as a grading tool, which is great, but a lot of professors just want to make sure that all these resources are available to their students. So by using the reward system, the students get a bonus for having completed the tasks, the learning modules, and the kinds of trades you're asking them to do, but they're not necessarily required to do it as part of the class grade. That works really well when we're talking about the tutorials in particular. Now, the other half of this is the achievement side. Now, StockTrak has achievements built into it now. So as the students are going through the site and they're building their portfolio, they can earn these achievements on their achievements page by completing certain kinds of tasks. For example, making a certain number of trades, watching all the tutorial videos, taking certain actions in the curriculum library where they complete a certain number of our quizzes and learning modules, trading stocks from certain sectors or certain countries. So all these different kinds of things the students that are in your class are going to be earning badges as they progress through StockTrak. They're going to have the badge that shows up at the top of the page when they earn it, and then on their rankings page they'll also show all the badges that each student has earned. So the achievement system in particular is really designed to get students to be a little bit more curious and go through the different features that StockTrak is available without you necessarily making it so they have to do it. So these two things together basically is encouraging students to explore StockTrak, explore what's available, explore different ways to approach their portfolio, and really at the end of the day properly diversify and push them to go towards just the basic pick 5 stocks at the start of the semester and kind of forget about it. Because we do give badges explicitly when students diversify their portfolio based on a certain number of sectors, or when they trade a certain number of stocks in a specific sector, or even when they go beyond different security types. So the whole point is to encourage a little bit more exploration and a little bit more engagement, especially for schools where the students might not be in the classroom and they might need a little bit extra push to really get engaged with the projects. Next up, the certifications. So StockTrak has partnered with Wildly Efficient Learning for a couple of years now for the certification system. Now, what this means is that if you are a US or Canadian class with 20 or more students, your top student is going to win a free CFA, CFP, CPA, SIE, Series 7, or Series 63 course, whichever one they think is going to best help their career. So if you're a professor in the US or Canada, just keep that in mind because we will be reaching out to you towards the end of the semester to collect the information on your top students so we can get their pick for what they want for their course. On the other side of that, we're also holding a National Student Investing Challenge. Up to $30,000 in prizes, which includes the price of the certification courses that we're giving away. It's completely free to enter. Students do not need to be currently registered in StockTrak to participate, but in order to earn the prizes, they do need to be from a U.S. or Canadian university. If you're from outside the U.S. and Canada, the students who are participating can still win some cash prizes. The top 5 performers will each earn a $100 Amazon gift card, but they're not going to be eligible for the certification course prizes. So in either case, it's a great new addition, and if you have classes and students who have used StockTrak before or haven't used StockTrak yet who you think might be interested, they're free to enter and participate. So we highly encourage as many students as you possibly get to join and participate. Now, the last new addition is probably the biggest one, StockTrak's new budgeting game. The new budgeting game, we've designed it for personal finance classes. It's been in development for almost 2 years now. We've been beta testing it for about a year to make sure that everything is perfect for every class. And it basically is a tool that students use to manage a budget over a simulated year. So nearly every element of the game is customizable. You can see here on this picture I have that a student would click this dice to move forward through a month. As they go through the month, they get their paychecks on Fridays. They get unexpected expenses throughout the game. They have bills they have to pay. You can see here that I have not yet paid my rent and cell phone bill for this month, so I'll probably get a penalty because I haven't done it on time. They make all kinds of decisions, like what kind of house are they going to rent, what kind of cell phone contract do they want to get, what kind of meal plan are they taking. All of these things add up to how they balance their credit card and their credit score, how they build their net worth over time, if they are able to hit their savings goals each month, and how much time are they spending on their quality of life. So it's not the kind of game where students can quote-unquote budget by just never spending any money. They need to spend money in order to improve their quality of life, or they start losing game score points. So the whole game is balanced around a pay-yourself-first saving strategy, and it works pretty well to capture all the kinds of trade-offs that students would face as they manage their budget in the real world. So as you can see, we have all kinds of choices and decisions students make, and all of these impact how the game folds out for students in real time. So every weekend, they choose how they're going to spend their time. They can work some extra hours on a side job. They can spend time with their friends to improve their quality of life. They can take care of their household chores, which does things like save them money by clipping coupons, or they can work on their professional development. Working on their professional development, if they do it enough times, can actually lead them to getting a raise at their job. So that is highly encouraged. For these other choices, there's always a balance that needs to be struck. For example, if the student doesn't do their household chores enough, their landlord will come by and do an inspection. They're going to get a huge fine. If they don't work extra hours enough, they might lose the opportunity because the boss might stop asking them if they're even available. So generally speaking, the students who balance their choices between these 4 options tend to do the best in the game. There's a couple ways the game can be set up for your class. We have a part-time mode where the students have a part-time job as a part-time student in college, where they balance their work life and studying. Because they have a part-time job, they have roommates and student-related expenses. And then you can set it for them to graduate from their part-time job after a certain amount of time into their full-time workforce. As a full-time worker, there's additional bills and things that students need to pay. They have a little bit less variation because they have a full-time job and consistent hours, but they have a lot more bills and all the dollar amounts are bigger. There's a bigger emphasis on trying to maintain their work-life balance and putting a little bit more emphasis on professional development to earn a raise. Now, I went through these features in pretty quick detail because there's a lot to cover, but if you have any questions, you can reach out to me, Kevin Smith, Director of Product Development, ksmith@stocktrak.com, or our Director of Global Education, Tom Reddy, treddy@stocktrak.com, or our account manager, Anthony Ponzo, aponzo@stocktrak.com. We'll be doing some more webinars throughout the semester on each of these features individually to get a little bit more feel for questions. And if you have any other concerns, let one of us know. We'll be happy to help.